Well, today we're changing the refrigerant over in this system here. I worked on this not too long ago. It was a little bit low on gas, and rather than buying this old refrigerant at a high cost, we're going to change it over. The thing's marked up here, which is a blessing. Somebody marked it. It's the old R408A refrigerant. It was doing actually pretty good on this system. It's a freezer, mainly used for freezers, a replacement for 502. But and what I'm going to put in it is the, that's it back there. It's R407F, and it's Performax is the name on it. And I'm going to add some POB oil. And what we're going to do is also this pressure control mess. Apparently this dual pressure control here went bad on the low side at one point, and whoever was working on it left the high side function still hooked up. They disconnected the low side, and they ran wires, the control circuit, through. Originally it was through this pressure control here. I pulled that off already so I could put my gauges on it. It was mounted on that suction filter right there. But apparently that went bad, and then they installed this single pressure control. After all that, why didn't they just change the dual pressure control in the first place? Well, that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. I'm going to put in a nice Renko. Let's see, it's a 1549. Good control. Been around a long time. It's a standard in the industry. On the left you have your high pressure function. On the right you have your low pressure function. And it's an excellent piece of equipment. And right now I'm pulling the gas out of the system. The old 408 out. And then what I'm going to also do too is get rid of that suction filter, because you can see it's rusting there, and I just don't like leaving an old filter in the system. It absorbs some acids, but it's got to give it off again eventually. I can't see it holding on to it. It absorbs and desorbs. So it's not, from my point of view, it's just not worth putting a suction accumulator on. If you remove substances in the system, you might as well do it in the liquid filter. It's the same material. It removes acids and moisture, waxes, and then replace that once in a while. And that's what we're going to do today, is change the dryer filter. That's I believe that's an 8 cubic inch. Is that an 8? Let me see. It's an 084. That's a ½ inch. I don't know if I have I brought a 3/8 with me. I thought it was 3/8. So I have to see if I have a ½ inch. So hopefully I do, so I can change it. But that's pretty much where we're at. And I had to pull a vacuum on it, and right now we're getting close to getting all the refrigerant out. So that's what we're doing today. look at this, the suction filter. They rust. Look at this. It just has the covering to it. And it's all rusted, and it's just going to leak in a month, a year, next year. So it wouldn't be good for me to leave that there. So I gotta put my low side connection is going to be on the process tube on the compressor. Mirrors are good for when you're brazing. Here I'm looking at the other side of the pipe so I can see whether it's cleaned off or not. But I can see I got it pretty good. If you leave a little dark spot, it just won't braze there, and then you have a leak. And you're lucky if the leak happens while you're watching it. You're not lucky if it leaks after you leave, because then you have to come back and fix it. Pretty windy today. It's October. Leaves are coming off the trees. That's going to be my connection for my low side. Now I gotta pull this off. Got my nitrogen flowing through this hose. Oxidation you have to take off. that's not good. You see, caught my cuff in there. Good thing it wasn't a big quarter horsepower drill. Okay, now I gotta measure. Let's see. That's a nice switch. You can see that. It's just swedged it out pretty nice. My marker pen. 7/8 tubing. This is soft tubing. If this was hard drawn tubing, what I would have done is heated the end up cherry red until it was annealed, and then let it cool off, and it would be soft. You know, the end, you could swedge it out very easily then. But this is already soft tubing, so. See that? Get a pretty nice swedge on it. Cold out here.
I'm getting into the picture.
Oh.
So I'm getting into the movie.
Yeah. Put these on YouTube.
Oh yeah? That's nice.
Yeah, people around the world are watching.
They watch, oh yeah.
India, there's guys in India. Russia,
Yeah.
it's all around. Argentina.
Yeah.
And it helps young guys out, that's what I...
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. It's fun. The comments, you know, they comment and it's uplifting, you know, I appreciate it.
I watch a lot of them, like when I'm doing any work on my car.
Oh, sure.
You know, it helps a lot.
It's excellent. You can, anything you have to do, you can pretty much look up. Like I did some woodworking. I wanted to make end tables. I didn't want to buy them, so I went and bought the machinery instead, you know, the saws and everything else, and I made them. But I looked everything up on YouTube. I saw how to do it, and then I just did it. And it worked, you know, it worked out okay. But you know, you can almost learn anything on YouTube. You want to buy a camera, for instance, you can, you know, watch reviews on it. You know, see which one's a good one, which one's bad. You know? I just got this coat, and it's electric.
Oh, okay.
You press the button, and the heater's in here, and there's a battery, drill battery back here. I don't have it on right now, but it's. I wanted to see how it would work. You know, I went online and I looked it up, and you could, you know, different people reviewing them, and there's a couple different brands. So I ordered it. It was a little pricey, but they're kind of new, you know. They've been out a couple years.
It's a good thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're working outside in the winter time.
Well, the big problem is having to put layers on it. You know, you get t-shirts, thermals, shirt, sweatshirt, another sweatshirt over that, you know, then a coat, and then a hoodie coat, and then a big heavy coat over it. You got a lot of layers. I'm trying to eliminate half the layers, you know. That's what I was trying to do.
And it takes a toll on how you breathe, you know, like more layers you put in, sometimes it gets
Heavy.
heavy.
It's my customer Shima. His name is Shima. Nice guy. He's from India. On this side of the collar, so it draws into the blade into the joint. And then I go back and I move the torch back and I fill it in. Back here. I don't want to overheat it. I'll back it off. Go down to a smaller torch, but I'm too lazy to go get one. This is more convenient. Rag is slightly damp on that one. I think that's all the brazing we have to do. That's good for the nitrogen. Let that cool off. I gotta put the screws through these holes into the back of the control here. And what I always use instead of Loctite, I could use Loctite, but I did carry that around for a while, but it's just easy enough to use my leak lock. It firms up. Control won't go loose. Winter's coming, you can feel it. Get one of these little spade connectors, or these slide-on connectors, or grip-on connectors. Put them on it, and nice tooth mark on it. Tug on it. It's good. Our little screws. I use the old screws from the old control, the same size for the back of the thing. But I have to use these little brass screws here for the front, for the electrical. Screw holders are nice. You try to do it with your big fat clumsy fingers, and tiny screws drop all over the place. Worst thing is to have one drop and fall into a crack and you can't get it.
specific size, you're in trouble. I keep a whole bunch of extra screws in my truck like this. Over the years they accumulate, so I put them in one spot, electrical drawer. And if I lose a screw, which happens, I can always come back and get one. Okay, the wires are nice and neat out of the way. Put this on carefully, don't overdo it. You can plug it up actually if you put too much leak lock. It'll sit in there like a ball and get hard. And I always use Teflon tape on top.